Breaking news, $2,000 stimulus checks and Trump accounts. President Donald J. Trump just made a huge announcement.
Fulfilling a promise I made in the 2024 campaign, Trump accounts should grow to be worth many thousands of dollars.
Trump accounts will grow by thousands and thousands of dollars, and I'm fulfilling the promise I made to millions of Americans, said by President Donald J. Trump. But what about the $2,000 stimulus check? Well, look at this. Trump administration is confident in tariff rebate checks despite swirling skepticism. Well, you need to understand that Donald J. Trump as well as White House both confirmed these stimulus checks to Americans. Now it's about time that we talk about the eligibility, the timeline, because we already have the details that we can share with you in this very important video. But before I begin, all I need is just a little favor. It takes 2 seconds to please hit that like button on this video. So without any further ado, let's begin. $2,000 stimulus check from President Donald J. Trump, and let's start the video with the announcement of these checks from President Trump.
We're going to issue a dividend to our middle income people and lower income people of about $2,000. And we're going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt. We're going to be lowering our debt, which is a national security thing.
We're going to issue a check of $2,000 to each American adult and each dependent. Well, it's only for US citizens, so you need to keep this in mind. And right after this, this is what President Donald J. Trump posted. People that are against tariffs are fools. We are now the richest, most respected country in the world with almost no inflation. Let me know in the comments below if you agree with this. And our record stock market price. 401ks are highest ever. We are taking in trillions of dollars and will soon begin paying down our enormous debt, $37 trillion. Record investment in the US, plants and factories going up all over the place. A dividend of at least $2,000 a person, not including high income people, will be paid to everyone. Well, you need to understand that now even White House confirmed these checks to millions of Americans, and Caroline Leavitt said that we are committed, means the White House is committed to send these checks to millions of struggling Americans. And when a reporter asked about these $2,000 checks, this is what she said.
Should U.S. Citizens expect the $2,000 proposal? Is the White House committed to making that happen?
The White House is committed to making that happen, yes. And we are currently exploring all legal options to get that done. I don't have a timeline for you or any further details, but I can confirm for you that the president made it clear he wants to make it happen. And so his team of economic advisors are looking into it. And when we have an update, we'll provide one.
So the president made it clear that he wants to make it happen, and the team of advisors are finally analyzing the situation. And Caroline Leavitt replied that I'll update you as soon as I have one, but we already know the timeline and the eligibility details of these $2,000 checks. I'm gonna tell you about it in just a minute, but first look at this. Whether you're cautiously optimistic or an outright non-believer, confusion surrounding President Trump's $2,000 tariff rebate or stimulus checks continues to spread. His administration stance, however, hasn't budged. Well, right now, millions of Americans are waiting for these checks in their mailbox, and they're also waiting for these checks if they have a direct deposit information with the IRS. So they want to see this check getting deposited into their accounts. So what's going on right now? Well, couple of things that you need to understand. When it comes to President Donald J. Trump and these $2,000 checks, there is a very big connection right here, because President Donald J. Trump recently said that he's thinking about sending these checks in the middle of next year. But a chaos erupted after this statement, because a number of analysts, experts, and lawmakers are saying that President Donald J. Trump will send these checks, but he will send these checks right before the midterm election next year so he can regain the trust of American people. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about it? Because right now, if President Donald J. Trump is talking about these $2,000 checks, so the best time to send these checks is right before Christmas. So millions of Americans who are unable to put 3 meals a day for themselves and their loved ones, they can actually enjoy these holidays with their loved ones. Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about it? But at the same time, there's something I need to tell you about the eligibility. Well, if you are someone who make $100,000 and less, then you are eligible for these $2,000 check. Remember that this came from the American Worker Rebate Act, introduced by Josh Hawley with the approval of President Donald J. Trump. Though in that proposal, the amount of these checks were $600 only, and now President Donald J. Trump has actually said that he's going to send $2,000, and he also posted it on Truth Social, but he also posted something else as well, and I want to show you this very important post right here. Look at this. All money left over from the $2,000 payments made to low and middle income US citizens from the massive tariff income pouring into our country from foreign countries, which will be substantial, will be used to substantially pay down national debt. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. A number of people actually commented in our videos that, what about me? I'm on green card, I'm on H-1B visa, and I'm on asylum. Am I going to receive this check? Well, the answer lies right here on this post, as President Donald J. Trump said that all money left over from the $2,000 payments made to low and middle income US citizens. US citizens, please pay attention to this, as if you are someone who's not a US citizen, then you are not going to receive this check. Well, you must be thinking that during the pandemic, I received my $2,000 check. I'm not a US citizen. Why President Donald J. Trump is doing this to me? Then you need to ask President Donald J. Trump, because this is how it's working right now. Well, he's trying to do everything for American citizens, but one thing that you need to understand, that this $2,000 check is indeed a breathing room in this inflation, because according to the recent report from Gallup, the prices of groceries are up by 21% in the past 3 years, and this $2,000 is something that millions of Americans are looking up to. Well, at the same time, look at this update, as this is super important. Trump himself has recently committed to the idea of stimulus checks from the tariff revenue several times. The Truth Social post that I've just showed you about giving all but high-income people a $2,000 dividend to directly telling reporters that checks for low and middle-income Americans would be sent out mid to late 2026. And of course, this is very confusing because we are moving towards midterm elections. So if President Donald J. Trump will send these checks right before midterm election, it will be a very chaotic situation from the Democratic side, and at the same time, it will actually start a number of conspiracy theories. We don't want to talk about it right here on this video, but something that you need to understand, that though Americans need the money right now, right before Christmas, so sending these checks in the middle of next year is something that Americans are confused about. That if President Donald J. Trump is actually willing to send these checks, why not now? Well, according to President Donald J. Trump, US is receiving billions and trillions of dollars, and to send these checks to Americans, he only needs $160 billion from the tariff revenue. And according to the last report, in just 1 week, US received $29 billion because of these reciprocal tariffs that President Donald J. Trump placed on almost every country in the world. So if he wants to send these checks to Americans, if we take this into the equation, maybe he needs around 6 weeks or 7 weeks worth of tariff revenue to send these checks to Americans. Then why wait till next year if he can do it right now? Let me know in the comments below, what do you think about this whole situation, and do you support these $2,000 checks from President Donald J. Trump as well as the Trump accounts? If you do, then write in the comment section, I support $2,000 check. Again, if you support it, then write in the comment section, I support $2,000 check, because remember, if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. A number of people actually commented on our videos that why you always ask us to comment on your videos that I support $2,000 check. Well, you need to understand that right here on the Credit Viral Show, we have over 200,000 people. It's a very huge community, and if we forget this, if we don't talk about it, nothing will happen. That's why your point of view matters the most. Just imagine getting a little bit of highlight in the mainstream media. It's going to make a huge difference. So make sure that if you support this check, write in the comment section, I support $2,000 check. And do you know that you can save around $1,100 when it comes to your Medicare plan? That's why I partnered with Chapter, where you can get unbiased help from a real person absolutely free. Call the number on the screen today, 212-461-4492. Again, the number is 212-461-4492, and get the help that you deserve absolutely free. If you have any questions at all, then please let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer each and every question of yours, as Credit Viral channel will always be with you in your good and difficult times. Before I wrap up, I would like to show you this again, as Michael and Suzanne Dell net worth, the CEO, adds to Trump's $1,000 checks. Well, right now these billionaires are adding $250 into Trump accounts on top of these $1,000 that is already there. It's going to make a huge difference, but like after 24 to 30 years to those kids who have these accounts right now. So if you are a parent, you should be happy about it, but again, you cannot take this money out. This is something that you need to keep in mind. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Till then, please take care and have a nice day.